Hey guys, welcome back to another Leagues video. Today we're going to be talking about the two relics that have just dropped, which is Guardian and Weapon Specialist. Weapon Specialist is a relic that's geared around your spec, so your specs will have 100% increased accuracy, and you'll be able to do additional specs for HP instead of using your spec bar. So that's going to be pretty great. It looks like it only uses 25 HP per spec, so not too sure how that's going to play in because we haven't had numbers confirmed on this one, but that's just a bit of a speculation from the video here. I would say that notable use cases for this one is going to be a Zerite crossbow. Being able to spec an additional 3 times, especially if you're going that range route, that's like a guaranteed minimal 500 damage without having any double procs. Now, good to note is that if it does double proc, it has been confirmed that if you are like specking, it's going to spec as well. So that's a guaranteed hit with the ZCP, so you could be doing some pretty crazy damage here with this one. Obviously, take care because you will be using ruby bolts, obviously for a lot of bossing and stuff like that, and they'll hurt you in addition to the specking relics, so you're going to have to watch your HP a little bit, bring some food with you, tick eat, and all that fun stuff. Another notable mention is for the melee route. So you'll be able to have a DDS and spec about 8 or 6 or 8 times depending on how they balance this one. I feel like they might get you more specs for lower spec requirement weapons, but they haven't confirmed anything yet, and it doesn't look like that. That's just me with a bit of copium. But a really great one for melee players is a Saradomin Godsword. There's been a few theories thrown around this morning about the fact that the Saradomin Godsword obviously will heal you, and a lot of people who are going that melee route will be taking Asgarnia. So there's a possibility that with Karamwams and a Saradomin Godsword, you may be able to just spec constantly, because you're going to be healing off the Saradomin Godsword. You're going to have a 1-tick eat food in Karamwam. So that could be pretty crazy of just sort of standing there swinging and swinging until your heart's content. But we'll have to see how that one works. There might be a cooldown on it, so we're just not too sure yet. Don't really want to play too much into that. Now the other one that's been released is Guardian. Guardian is essentially a mega thrall, but it's not really a thrall because it swaps attack styles. It's like another player that's going to follow you around. It has an AI in it, so it's going to calculate what's best to be hitting, like style-wise, on what you're fighting. So you can always know that the Guardian's going to be doing the maximum amount of damage possible. It seems to swap between ancients and using range gear and melee and stuff like that. So it does splash damage on its range attacks as well, which is pretty nutty. Yeah, we just have to see how that one plays out. Again, we haven't had really any numbers confirmed for that one, but it looks pretty crazy. Obviously, if you're not someone that likes to team up with other people, this will be pretty good for raids, especially. You will, I believe, also be able to summon thralls with this one. So it's you and the 2 lads with you. And yeah, so I think this one's going to be pretty good. These relics are going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see what comes out along beside them. Because if this is the sort of thing that they're dropping now, obviously the spec relic is more geared towards your ranged and your melee styles. It's not really going to do a lot for mages unless, of course, you're taking the wilderness, where you have the scepter and stuff like that. I'm keen to see what comes across with it. I'm hoping that there might be just a damage and accuracy buff one, but we'll have to see. We don't know yet. Jagex is holding their cards close to their chests. Obviously, the spec relic as well is going to be really great for lowering defenses on things. Not that you really overly need to do that too much in Twisted League, but for those of you who are going to get a Dragon Warhammer, who are going to have BGSs, the Saradomin Godsword might not be the best in slot, especially if it does have a cooldown to it. It might be your Dragon Warhammers and stuff like that, lowering things down to 0 HP. It'll make Corp a lot more interesting, so that's something to consider. It'll be a lot easier to lower Corp right down. Also, coming back to the early game ranges, that's going to be really good if you're going to get things like a magic short bow and stuff like that. You have early access into something like this. I mean, even melee players with a D long or a D skimmy, now they're going to be having more fun with this. Probably pick up the Dragon Dagger earlier though, but instead of using that just because it's Dragon Dagger, it's pretty great. That'll just about do it for us today, I think. It's not really too much more to cover on these ones. I will be having a bit of a deeper guide coming out into the starting relics and where I think they're going to be really useful. That'll be broken up into 3 because I think that in and of themselves, they might look surface that they're not that powerful or that they're all roughly around the same. But I think if we have a deep dive, those relics, those tier 1 relics, will really impact on your style. It's something I want to point out, and you know, it's going to change the way that you play the early games, your early tasks, things like that a lot. So I think it's probably deserving of a deep dive, and it's all we can really confirm at the moment because we don't know what the other tier 2 relics are. So look out for that, and thank you so much for watching today. Please like if you liked it, subscribe if you feel like more, and yeah, I'll leave you guys to it. Have a fantastic day. Bye.